Hello, my cave dwelling friends. Sunday night in the light. Good to see you all. I love announcing everyone. Errol Bourgeois, Crystal, Rena, Jason, Phyllis, Gisela, Mary, Holly, Leanne, Potsy. What's up, Potsy? Christine, Landon, Larkley, John. What's up, John? I hope you're doing well, bro. Leanne says I'm gonna watch the replay. Blessings, sis. Hello, Tanya. Phyllis from Wisconsin. She says I shared it. Thank you. And I think I covered everyone here so far. Elwood, how you doing, brother? It's good to see everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about 1 + 1 = 3. You know me and my silly bling bling kookiness. But it is very, it stands on solid ground as far as making a very valid point. A different way of seeing things. Leanne says, what the hell am I watching now? You're watching Hellfire. We're going to go into Hellfire to move into the Divine Fire. That's the only way, dear. Hello, Karen Renando. It's good to see you, dear. So, this setup is about falling into yourself in such a way that you begin to examine the emotional issues left undone. And in so doing, that can feel like hell. So, in order for us to elevate, we have to move through that hellish experience so we can see the lighter nature of things and therefore ascend to a greater possibility. Ricky Vito, I've been seeing you with your beautiful daughter. I am so happy for you and for me that she's doing well. Hello, Donna Donato, my dear lady friend. It's good to see you. Hope things are well. Oh, I get it. Leanne says, oh, hell, I'm going to watch it now. That's what she meant. So I am here. So tonight we're talking about 1 + 1 = 3. I am seriously waiting for something intentionally, on purpose. Hello, Jay. I had someone who I was going to interview last week. He decided to send me this quick message. He wasn't in the right mindset. I said, no big deal. So I made this ready to play video, and he started slamming me. I'm okay with that. But he asked a very good question, and therefore it's priority on the list. I'm gonna wait. I am gonna wait till he shows up. This is not about calling him out. This is about bringing him into my experience. I will go back to this shortly. He slammed me pretty hard. Dude, when I want you to interview me, I don't want all these bells and whistles and props and all this. He goes, if you really want people to listen to you, you don't need all that stuff, ... He's absolutely correct. But I want to explain, share with him why I do all this. Keith's just trying to show off. He's trying to get attention. Yes. I'm not in denial. I'm having a blast being me. We'll get to that if he decides to show, and I hope he does. I want to support him in the question he posed, and I think it's a very valid question. But we'll get into that a little later if he decides to make it. Hello, Ruda Shakti Love. Love the name. For those who are interested, next month, September 21st and 22nd, God Realized Man from India, Swamji, is going to be coming to Memphis, Tennessee. Look at the bliss in my eyes. Look at the enlightened gaze in my son's face. And Swamji, holding up his hand, is giving you Shaktipat. Shakti love. There you go. He's sending you divine transmissions just by looking at this picture. If you have not that you have to, but if you've never had the opportunity, well, you have the opportunity now, have not been in the presence of a divine avatar, physically, there's something there to experience that may occur only once in your life. And it will accelerate your spiritual expansion by allowing you to feel something that you would have not before if you didn't take the time, if you can find the time, to be in such a divine, graceful presence. If you're interested in being part of his stay in Memphis at this Peace Day, Unity Day, I forgot the name of it, forgive me, as well as a Q&A that I'm going to give in an interview to Swamiji, and you're welcome to be a part of the audience of that, asking Swamiji the questions. He's divine realized. He knows everything. Why? Let me see if I can remember. What is the state of the world? That's the umbrella, and I will create very deliberate, intentful questions that I, as taken it upon myself to be the spokesperson, question person of humanity, to ask him, that as we are down here on the earth, experiencing the wobbleness, all the energy that's moving in our human experience, hello, we need a little help. How do we go about getting that help? How do we go about doing things that we can right the situation right now? See, it's all about question. In question is answer. The divine just cannot and will not step in and invade and impinge upon our free will. It will never happen. So I'm going to find myself, hopefully others around me, so we can join a collective open heart space so that the questions I put forth, he will have no choice but to answer, because we will be coming from the heart as divine children, asking the right question from the right disposition with the right intention. For example, Fukushima is happening. It's been happening. What could be one choice we can all do right now to stop the Pacific Ocean from being contaminated with radiation? How many people have ever asked that particular question at a mass conscious level in front of other people? So he feels someone's posing the right question. That's the purpose of my interview with Swamiji. I'm very serious about what I do, beside all the bling bling. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Trudy. Hello, Becky. Yanava Bro Rit. So tonight we're talking about 1 + 1 = 3. I am not going to go very deep. Hello, John David Powers. I'm not going to go very deep in what took place yesterday morning. It's been all over social media. It's all over the news. You know what I'm referring to. About all that dark stuff that came to light about all the human trafficking, sex trafficking in children. That's all I'm going to say about that, and it's going to sit right there. Now you know exactly what I'm referring to. That's going to stay there. Tonight's presentation, Time with You, is not talking about the that of it so much, but how we can grasp, get a handle on that very question I am going to pose to Swamiji. What do we do with all this movement? How do we find ourselves in a state of balance when all we have is this one or that one to choose from? So if I don't choose that one, that means by default I'm choosing that one. Or if I choose that one and I'm not correct, I missed the mark. Or if I choose that one, this is part of the addiction, the insane, unconscious, ignorant human problem. So how do we choose what is correct? That is a very delicious question. Because in your choosing of a this one or that one, someone else's choosing might not be the this one or the that one. So what happens is 50% of 100% of people, as an average, do not collectively join up to become 100% fold in power. So what I suggest is find the right answer that everyone says yes to, then 100%, 7.8 billion people are lining up to reach the same goal. That's how we ascend the entire world instead of waiting on someone who will never come to collect us. Hello, Maria. 1 + 1 = 3. I tell you, it does. It's not a simple play on words. It is, but it has lots of value. Hello, Donna Orman Webb. Welcome to the cave. That is this segment here. Cave meaning going inside of the darkness in yourself to illuminate the aspect of you that is there in wait for all of us to do. And in so doing, the cave becomes illuminated. Representative of the fire, the bling bling as it's been called, around me. It's all metaphorical. I get to play in the arena of the arts. I do what I love, and I love creating. I love eye candy. It helps bring people into the experience. That's why most people seek out a life partner because, oh my God, John Doe is so cute, isn't he, Jen? Oh my God, that girl over there is so hot. Bling bling. It's eye candy. So before I take a very short pause, my friend Dan DiTillo asked a very, very important question, and he deserves an answer. And I am going to give him my response because he deserves an answer. But I did say at the beginning when I set up this platform that I was going to be blatantly honest in this arena. Dan says he and I were going to do an interview recently. It didn't happen for whatever reasons. He asked me if I'd be willing to interview him via Facebook. And I didn't respond because I was caught up in setting things up. And he said, don't need to make basically his interview, he and I's, all spooky and mysterious background type animated stuff, do you? It's opening people up, not brainwashing them who gives a shit about what your background looks like. I have a cosmos behind me and a giant pyramid. Well, there's your background, bro. And all of these theatrical special effects, come on, dude. It's pretty pathetic, but the word you spelled was prophetic, so thank you very much. Don't you want people to know the real you? That's a really good question, bro. I like it. And I'm going to share you exactly what it is for me. Because first and foremost, this is about me and my joy. So my response to that opening statement is, so what I would suggest, if you come into my room that is so pathetic, Dan, is simply close your eyes and tell me what you hear then. Could it be that you are truly not listening? And that you're the one caught up in the bling bling because you were the one talking about it? I'm just having fun, bro. I am creating my future now. I have a vision for myself to have full production. And guess what? I'm living it now. I'm doing what I love. Are you not doing that? So, Dan, you are equating that I have background stuff as an excuse because I don't know who I am. Let me share with you who I am, bro, and why I do all of this. When you look at this background that you seem to have a problem with because you think it makes me fake, let me share with you how real it is and can be for you and what it means and all the work, the passionate work I put into everything I do. Let me explain each piece to you so you have a different understanding, so you and I from now on can actually relate. The cave means that part of you that you visit every day in your meditation to try to resolve your issues. You think it's a little over the top. Let me tell you something, my brother. I am one to not care what people think about me. The fire represents that which it requires to jump into the fire of yourself and burn away the nonsense of everyone, including myself. Those candles are imbued with intention. It reminds me of a time in my life when I was submersed in brotherhood with other people, illumined, passionate like this fire to ignite. So basically, my house and everything about it is my altar. This right here I wear around my neck. I never take it off or put it on without kissing it. I imbue it with my love and my heart. This came from God, realized man, the one I showed everyone a minute ago. It puts me in a space of openness, sacredness, humility, reverence, and awe. Why do I put ash in my head? Because I am intending to open the doorway within myself so as a teacher I can deliver and do the very thing I love, which is to be with people and help to empower them to feel the same blissful life that I feel if they choose to receive it. This ash was manifested out of this God personified man who stepped foot on this earth. It was materialized out of his hand at will. Don't you put your cups on your table and try to manipulate them or move them around telekinetically? Why do you do that? Why do you use that bling bling and not just tell the people about who you are? And finally, this candle, this bling bling that you call it, this candle was given to me by my son, my 14-year-old beautiful angelic child, on Father's Day. And so I use it to bless my sacred space, that everything I do, say, intend is filtered through the beauty that I know as God that exists in my child. Hello? My bro Dan, if you don't understand that, if you ever come into my forum, don't look. That's what it is, bro. Dan, I'm not trying to combat you either. You know, at the beginning of your statements, you were being a little, honestly, you were being very judgmental, very insinuating, insulting, as if I'm fake. Come on, this is your words. Come on, dude. If you want people to know the real you, this is the real me. This is me. You ought to see me when I play guitar. I show out and show off. Why? Because I'm having a blast. And then towards the end, you toned it down a little bit. Dan, own it. Own it. Impress me. Own it. I don't have to impress you. You don't need my impression. Own it. I love you, bro. It's cool. We straight. We were donkey Lewis straight. What's up, Brett? What's up, Lewis? All right. So, Dan, I hope you have an understanding, brother. I do this because it's fun. I have a blast with this. I love creating things. I get to sit here and just watch these images come to my play, and I get to play with them, and I get to sit here and hang out with you. You didn't lower my vibrations, dude. You got me passionate. Thank you for, seriously, you got me passionate. I'm on fire. Hence why you see in the fire. You took me into the cave, bro. You reflected me into a space that helps me to anchor forevermore how much I love being me. And everybody, I'm going to say, don't please, and of course you won't, and I'm going to say it anyway. Praise Dan. He took me, say thank you, Dan. He took me on a joyous ride, me reliving my worth. Everyone stick around. I'm going to be right back. My energy is buzzing, and I want to say thank you, Dan, for the buzz. Seriously. Yeah. All right, y'all, we're going to be right back. Get down to some cave business, some cave dwellers. We're going to go into what I call warrior mode. Music is everything. Music will take you into an auditory current to help you become cognizant of the life conscious current. Music can and always does that. I guess it really depends on what music you're listening to. Love song or the blues. Take off your shoes. You won't need them in the cave because once you cross the threshold, that's sacred ground. If you're boogered, bothered, or butthurt, or tender in this moment, in this room with everyone sharing alike, that's sacred ground, isn't it? Bring your deity, believe your religion and your dogma at the entrance. Because once you cross this threshold of who you really are, that is going in trance into a deeper space of who you are, the abyss of your emotional problems. There is no other way. I don't care if you follow Jesus, Nanak, Buddha, Krishna, whoever. Yes, enlightenment can happen in a lightning strike. Depends on your past. However far back it needs to go. But moving into the infinite possibility of who and what you really are. As the Master Jesus and others have demonstrated, you have to walk through fire. Trial by fire. You have to walk through hell to reach your highest potential. Be right back. See you in a minute. Enjoy. Warrior mode. Stick around. All right, y'all, welcome back. I just went inside, did a small meditation, stated an intention. What is my intention? Just to be open, to be clear, articulate, hold vibration, hold space, be open, hoping that you have something you would like to add, contribute to the well-being of not only yourself, but to everyone. But yourself first and foremost, because if you don't have gasoline in your tank, you have no fuel, you're going to expire as you give and give and give and give to others. Hence the word, you have to refuel, so maybe you too can be a fire, a light that burns bright, and what could be a dark night of the soul for one of your soul brothers or sisters, ma'ams and misters. Tonight I am speaking about 1 + 1 = 3. Let me find just a couple of my notes. Hello everyone. Where are you? Here we go. A moment ago, I spoke about somewhat the idea of what this time, my time with you tonight, is about. And we're going to use only shortly to bring up the idea. What took place early morning yesterday all over Facebook about everyone's opinion about what made worldwide news, and a not so good light with a certain individual who's hanging around other influential people in the world about being hung by the neck in a jail cell. Now that we understand that, we're going to put that away. Everyone thinks there's a right or wrong answer. It's a mighty trap. Opinion equals ignorance. Ignorance simply means I don't know. But when one declares I don't know, it takes us out of our monkey-minded idea and not wanting to choose what everyone else's idea. So there's always a fight. There's always a battle going on. There's always a war within oneself. But mine is right. No, but mine is right. So who holds the absolute truth among 7 point whatever billion of us? Very powerful question. Very simple in nature. So what good can this do not only for me but for everyone? Like I said earlier, when we have a whole percentage of a world, give or take 50%, 51 one way or 53 the other, however it leans, there's going to be two choices. It's either going to shift this way with many different guises, or it's going to shift this way with many different guises. But it's really only going to shift only one of two ways. So that's a 50-50 split. And not everybody's on the same page, pushing towards a beautiful, powerful, illumined, ascended future for humanity all at the same time. In other words, we're still being divided. We're doing the division ourselves by not getting on the same page. So how do we get on the same page so we can all push, to use the word, influence by being ourselves to have 100% of the force behind us? Well, I can tell you it ain't what you think it is. And it ain't what everybody else thinks it is. 1 + 1 does not equal 2. 1 + 1 equals trouble because it creates a dual split. It means we're still living in duality and we are not taking full 100% responsibility for our life. Therefore, it leaves room for human error to happen, which causes us knocks on the heads, chop to the throat, punch in the solar plexus, and a kick in the groin. And you break your little toe on the furniture that you don't know's in the house because the light's off. So what is the third choice? It's the position, the understanding, and the ability to see the one common thread that unites and binds everyone together. That's the choice. That's the only choice. That's the choice that dwells, that helps everyone not only to experience, but to dwell forevermore in the state of infinite reality. Everything else brings karma. I think we're all tired of karma. Karma is beautiful because it will create wisdom in you. Tired of breaking my toe. Tired of getting knocks on my head. Chops to the throat. So forth and so on. From the divine principle. Now to true faith. When you achieve absolute clarity, you will have it. Basically, no more choice. I have absolute clarity. It's not my choice. I'm clear. I know what the divine unifying choice is. When I wake up, I'm tapped into it. When John wakes up, he's tapped into it. When Jill wakes up, she's tapped into it. So we're all tapped into it together, and we all make the same choice synchronistically. Now to true faith. When you achieve absolute clarity, you will have it. Along with it will come the power you need to manifest an ideal life. Faith, clarity, and power. The three facets of my loom of life working together to weave all of creation. These three cannot be separate lest they cease to be. Their immutable threads spin a tapestry of conscious awareness that becomes a divine garment for all to don. Keith, do you see the glorious pattern I'm constructing here? I think you're talking about unity. Yes. Here's the 1 + 1 = 3 as to why I named this time with you. I think you're talking about unity. Yes, the mighty power of all working together to benefit the all, to bring about change. It should not be hard for anyone to see that 2 is mightier than 1, 3 mightier than 2, 4 mightier than 3. To the infinity that is God, 1. Faith not only describes belief in a particular religion, it also conveys one's hope for a particular outcome, making that choice or that choice. Those who assume that results will come through blind faith cannot see how the power to manifest only springs from absolute knowing. Yet they are willing to gamble that their expectations will pay off, that they will hit life's jackpot, without realizing that they have nothing at all to back up their bet. A believer hopes that his or her life will happen. A knower makes it happen by having the faith-supported gumption to go about living it. For some, their belief can be a crutch for laziness. But if you want it to, belief can easily become the catalyst to expand you into absolute knowing. Faith can be also applied to the principle of believing in something higher than you. This is but a metaphor because there is nothing higher than you. Many will say, but this sounds like blasphemy. I know that pondering such a thought may frighten many and may put religious leaders in a state of God panic. So to them I ask, how can such a beautiful thought about the divine nature of all generate such fear? Yes, Carolyn, that's exactly right. It is 0. That is the cave. The cave is 0. So when we enter the cave of our life, if there's a 2 and a 1, we still got some work to do until we fall into the absolute nothingness. The no thing, yes, Carolyn, poetically. 0. My bro Robert says, if one thinks that they have the right answer, then they should demonstrate this concretely. Hello, Donnie. Donnie says, I'm not skirt. So now I want to give you a few ideas, but also possibly some solace, depending on who you are, in light of what has been transpiring in the world. Again, hold on tight. Things are moving. I've been saying this. Now they're starting to exponentiate. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being. Again, back to basics we go. The kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Now shall they say, lo here nor lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within. I ask, what will help to restore order in the world? When everyone efforts to replace their concepts of right and wrong with a deliberate intent to live peacefully at all costs, that alone will help the world to regain its equilibrium. Can you tell me whose opinion is truly right amongst the 7 point whatever billion of you? One's right is always someone else's wrong. Why, even in your lifetime, Keith, you have all been witness to diplomatic debates that have escalated from disagreement to argument, argument to conflict, and before you know it, to war. Always remember this. Your present legislative branch will collapse. This was in 1996. And it will take years to rebuild it. Because of this restoration process, many old guard politicians will be forced out. Your new lawmakers will not per se make law, but rather will introduce you to divine law and teach you how to fall into flow with it. Remember, too, the establishment of divine order is commencing as I speak. So what I'm offering through this passage of the divine principle, that the divine order is commencing as Spirit speaks, is that this was vesseled in 1996. Now in 2019, as we are moving into 2020, which is a power number, 2 and 2, 2020, 2020 is 4. 4 is a numerical number that signifies the power of the whole wending its way through every personified human spirit. The window, Lionsgate 0808, is still open. As of what happened yesterday morning, when the pedophile ring busted wide open, let me tell you what's happening. Let me remind you, or let me support you in what you already know is happening. The veil is being pulled back. Even the Bible talks about, in the final days, right will seem wrong, wrong will seem right. In the divine principle, it says, soon everyone will have to meditate upon the enigma of God, because it will become mandatory to understand what the divine truly is. What these are saying is, we are being given a glimpse of the truth of who we are, as well as the nonsense that it requires everyone to become fully responsible to balance, so we can become the embodiments of the heaven and earth prophecy fulfilled. But that cannot happen as long as we are making right and wrong choices. Talking about guns, stop worrying about guns. Nobody's coming to get your gun. Nobody wants your damn gun. It's all a show, a circus show to manipulate you, to think that you have to be scared, to keep you divided from those who are saying, I'm about peace, love, and harmony. You shouldn't have guns. It's part of the folly of the divine comedy. So don't be the last one standing there, finally catching the joke and laughing, because the whole time you're not laughing, the joke's simply going to be on you. It's not a fun nor funny place to be in. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, David. Hello, Linda. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Hi. So tonight we're talking about 1 + 1 = 3. Actually, if you look at it in this light, 1 + 1 does equal 3. When you have God the Father, and you have an aspirant, but let's just use Jesus. God the Father and Jesus. All of Jesus' early life, he thought he was a messenger of God until he went to the Himalayan monasteries and other places, until he realized he was one with Spirit. So at first, you have the Father, and then you have the Son. Until Jesus, so you have two, Father and Son. Until Jesus realized he was not separate from Father, then he became 3, which is the Trinity, which brings us right back to the 1. So 1 + 1 does equal 3, and it brings us right back to the 1. It's when we get caught in our monkey-mindedness about all the other numerical fixations. But numbers do have power, but it's about being conscious. So to live, to be, to express, to hope, to intend that we all move into this window, which is open for everyone. We have to take full responsibility for our own life. And so doing, we offer that to other people. So how do I make the right choice? The right choice surpasses your logic. I'm in no way suggesting that your logical intelligence, when we shift into that space, cannot be aligned with spirit. And we're using the word logic to describe it. But it's not logic. To me, logic implies I'm intelligent, I'm best guessing at things. To me, that's not what logic is. I'm speaking about true intelligence. Intel, how do they say that in the military? Intel, having the in on things, having the inside scoop. So intelligence. People always see God as love, which it is. But you never hear of many people describing God as truly intelligence. It's the epitome of divine intelligence, cosmic intelligence. So the third choice, there you go, 1 + 1 = 3. God, Jesus became God, unified, the Trinity. So when we get out of choice, we realize that there's only one choice. And that's moving into the cosmic gate of your clear eye and your open heart. And then we become consciously illuminated through the awareness that we glean by living in that particular space of yourself. Hi, Linda. She asked, I'm assuming she asked, so you don't believe God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit are each separate? No, I don't. But yes, I do. But they're not. Because it's not a this or that choice. That's part of the riddle, Linda. Beautiful question, by the way. Let me share with you why I say that. Because it is your idea. Absolutely it is. But I want to add something to your idea that makes our pie even greater. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit are not one. They're not. You take God out of the equation of it all, what are we left with? Nothing. No thing can exist without the presence of the all, the absolute. So in this regard, God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit are not separate. Now, how they are separate, or we have God, the infinite, that never budges. It does not do anything except unconditionally love, and it does not waver, and it uses light and sound to keep everything in the universe together. Jesus was separate in the regard that he separated his consciousness from the Godhead for a little while so he can come down to earth to remember who he is, so he can anchor that light on this earth. Because before that moment, he forgot all about it. Holy Spirit. So these aspects of the same divinity have their own function. There are three aspects of the same self, but it's the self that creates these different expressions to benefit not only the Father, which is the one, but the all. It's okay that you think of them as separate. That's okay. There is no right or wrong of it, by no means. If that is the key that opens up the gate to your infinite potential, make a copy of that key and send me one. Love it. Carolyn Melanando says, by name they are separate, by consciousness they are one. Yeah, I love it. Very hello, Kevin. Malek. Good to see you, buddy. So tonight we have been speaking about, through this funny double entendre, triple entendre, this basic play on math, 1 + 1 = 3. The idea is that we pause ourselves when we're making very important, powerful choices. I'm about to make a serious choice. Is my choice simply by what I believe? Am I standing on the absolute ground? If I was to take this belief into the cave of my being where God dwells, is God going to truly say, yes, you got it? Or is my belief going to be shattered by the presence of the infinite? Very simple question. It automatically puts us in check. It humbles us. It makes us reverent. So now we are open vulnerably to receive. Linda says, Keith, I can't wrap my head around that one. They are one. It's what you are, in fact. They're one. Basically, it's kind of like this. Strange, but it works. Everyone loves ice cream, I'm hoping. If I hand you an ice cream and it's vanilla and it's got sprinkles and it's got a cone, right? If I was to hand you a vanilla sprinkled ice cream cone and I want to offer you this ice cream cone, would I say, do you want this vanilla ice cream scooped into a cone with sprinkles? Or could I just say, do you want this ice cream cone? And you say, I'll take the ice cream cone. And while you're deliciously savoring on it, it's bringing you lots of joy like a kid. It's often said, you want to see God, give a kid an ice cream cone. But you're able to see the ice cream cone as one whole ice cream, though it's comprised of the ice cream itself, the waffle cone or the sugar cone, and the sprinkles. That's sort of the idea. Sounds kind of cray-cray, I know, but I hope it makes the point. So we're talking about how to undivide ourselves, to see things more wholly, H-O-L-Y, holy, but also holy, that which in me who sees things from a whole perspective. But also please keep in mind, it can and it will always be difficult to see things in their wholeness if we see things then in and of themselves as divided. That's a law. That is spiritual law. That is a law of physics. I watched a movie last night with Nicolas Cage called Next. I'm going to paraphrase this line. It got me. It was so cool. He had these extrasensory abilities. He could see 2 minutes into his future. And he said, when you look at the future, simply by looking at it, you change the future. When you look at the future, by simply looking at it, you change the future. Linda says, so I think of them as three, but working together as one. I guess that's exactly what I'm saying, dear. That's exactly what I'm saying. So basically, you can choose your route in. You can choose the Holy Spirit. You can choose Jesus. You can choose your grandmother. You can choose Nanak. You can choose Buddha. You can choose this very simple thing that makes you feel so peaceful and loving inside. That'll work too. So it's really not about your deity, though your deity is included, not excluded, it's included. It's about simply what makes you feel powerful, warm, fuzzy, and full of light and joyful. Isn't that what your deity is anyway? So do you have to call it Jesus? Do you have to call it my grandmother? Do you have to call it the ice cream cone? Can't we just exist in that beautiful space that is nameless anyway? God is not its name. God is a name to something that we give that is limitless. So that none of that is his name anyway. All that stuff gets burned away in the cave. In the cave of your heart, you step into the cave in the divine fire of who you are and call it Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus won't be, and I'm not making fun, I'm feeling joyful. We call it Jesus or Nanak or this or that. When we step into the fire, we don't begin to say, well, there's one log over here and one log over here, because it actually is the logs and the kindle that create the fire. But we don't say, I'm sitting on the log in the fire. We say, I'm sitting in the fire. Same idea. When we submerge ourselves in the oneness of the light that engulfs everything in God's omnipresence, that is the divine gift. That is the present that you were handed during Christmas, the Christ Mass. That's the whole intention of it. So your present, your gift is truly being present. Not about the this, not about the that, not about the right, not about the wrong. It's about the one song that is the answer to all of the problems that faces the world. The problems that face the world. But the problem doesn't face the world. I'm sorry to tell you, the problem faces you. I hope that every day you are blessing your sacred experience to do everything you can, plus a little bit more, to set yourself aglow in the divine fire that you see as I use as theatrics, as Dan made a very valuable point about it, and I'm very glad he did. It helped me to rekindle my fire that I'm very comfortable, happy, gleeful, joyful with who I am. I understand to some people this may look over the top. Trust me when I tell you, I am one who's not much for what people think about me and ridicule. I'm just not. So that being said, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Going to be right back. This was warrior mode, getting in and pushing. I like pushing. It's about me pushing myself. If anytime anyone gets butthurt or offended, you can exit. That's okay with me. I love you. My goal is not for you to like me. My goal is to love myself, therefore I can love you. That's my goal. It may be over the top. I really don't care. I love creating. I love seeing the ability of technology. I'm also stating an intention about what it is I truly desire for my future. Is to have a network, and I know it's coming. So I'm living it now. It's happening now. It ain't coming. I am doing it. I'm inter-networking with something that I believe in to the hilt. That's me. I hope for your sake, for the bliss of who you are and truly decide to be, that people ridicule you because you are not like they are. I hope they send you emails and text messages saying, this is just nonsense. Say, yes, how is nonsense working for you? How is common sense working for you? I lived in common sense, and I've realized that the not so common sense is where that third answer is. 1 + 1 = 3. It's the other thing. It's not the 1 and it's not the 2. Oh, dear Lady Linda, she says, I am not ridiculing you at all. No. I love what you said. No. I see, that's just it. You didn't at all. Neither did Dan. Dan was asking a very passionate question. So I'm not upset with Dan because my response to Dan set me on fire, no pun intended. I don't get butthurt. I really don't. Unless it's something that is worthy of needing addressing in a very serious way. So Linda, I take it in all love. No worries, okay, dear? And that's what this, see, Linda, the cave is about what you were doing. You've expressed yourself. That's why I created this forum. If we can't get along in this metaphorical idea, not knowing each other, when we're in each other's company, we will never get along and we will fight. It's just an idea of us coming together and speaking our hearts so that we can create a healing and all step into a divine fire of letting people be as they are. Fire, bling bling, and all. Love to you too, Linda. Everyone, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to change the music. Welcome back, my friends. I'm going to call it an early night, but I want to leave you with some heartfelt words. There's a lot going on around you. I understand. There's a lot going on around you. Everywhere it seems that you look is nonsense. Don't plug into the nonsense. It is your choice to be in the world being surrounded by the nonsense, and being in the nonsense when you submerge yourself in it. There is another choice. That you step back out of even being in a world that's filled with nonsense. I understand it. My feet are planted on the earth. I get swayed by the current. It's very easy to do. In fact, it's effortless. We're perfect at it. I want to become a dummy in that way. I'm so dumbfounded, to be honest with you, about the atrocities that are happening in the world. Check this out. Those things are horrible. Yes, they are. See, that's plugging into the world. When you step back enough, then the atrocities in the world strangely become beautiful, because everyone will illuminate, fire up, and awaken and ignite, individually as well as collectively, on their own accord. So in that being said, everyone's path is beautiful no matter what it is that they're submersed in. God's not in a hurry. So how do I get to the third something? Is back up so far from yourself to a cosmic perspective, take a new disposition of perception, and realize that as you dive into the fire of your cave, your oneness, when you step into one of your issues, don't try to work it out. You don't have to work out your issue. Fall into it. Fall into the fire of the issue and find your true self in it. And in so doing, you will ignite. Wow, it sucks to be in this place. Of course it does. Stay in it. Oh my God, it sucks to be in this place. Of course, stay in it. Keith, what I do? If you ask me, I'm going to push you further in it. Stay in it. And after you're in it for a while, you go, strangely, this is not so bad. Then you start developing confidence. I'm kind of getting used to this. And then you start standing a little more erect, a little more upright, a little more balanced. Then suddenly, through the silence, the new world appears. And everything that you thought was real and or important is burnt away. Just like this. Simply, just like that. That's what I'm talking about. That space exists inside of you, exists inside of everyone. Why am I so diligent and passionate about these presentations? It gives me an excuse, though I don't need it. I play in this arena all day long, to offer it to others, which creates a greater experience for me. But to always affirm, I want that place. That place. This just so happens to be the divine man cave I like playing in. I love being human. Fully love being human. Do you? Love you.
ਗਤ ਅੰਤਰ ਸਰਬ ਨਿਰੰਤਰ ਜੀਵ ਹਰ ਏਕ ਪੁਰਖ ਸਮਾਨਾ ਏਕ ਦਾਤੇ ਏਕ ਭਿਖਾਰੀ ਜੀ